this is where your father lived. Hmm? Are you still crying? If turning back the hands of time was not enough to save his life, you must accept what came to pass was fate. Agreed. We cannot let the wicked ones run free. Oh, your father said to look for something here. He must have been referring to whatever is behind that bookcase.
Yes, the bookcase in particular. And hello everyone, my name is Meg here. You see I'm back here again. And as you see, I'm kind of ruining the moment.
Father's diary.
But, yeah, in the last episode, Jeralt died. Like I said in the previous episode, it is every main character's canon event that their parents somehow dies. Their BS means. Or because the plot demands it.
Read that part there.
Either they were dead beforehand, they died during the story, they die in the epilogue.
Day 20 of the Horsebow Moon. All is cloudy. I can't believe she's dead. Lady Rhea said she died during childbirth. But is that the truth? And still, the child she traded her life for doesn't make a sound. Didn't even cry at birth. Day 25 of the Horsebow Moon. It's raining. The baby doesn't laugh or cry. Not ever. Lady Rhea says not to worry about a baby that doesn't cry. It isn't natural. I had a doctor examine the child in secret. He said the pulse is normal, but there's no heartbeat. No heartbeat. Day 2 of the Wyvern Moon. Sunny. I feel I must take the child and leave. But the church is always watching us. I don't know what Lady Rhea has planned. I used to think the world of Lady Rhea. Now I'm terrified of her. Day 8 of the Wyvern Moon. More rain. I used the fire that broke out last night to fake the child's death. Lady Rhea is in a state over the news, but I can't change what I've done. I've got to take the child and leave.
Well now, that baby must be you. That means... Someone is approaching us.
Uh-oh. Who is approaching us in these dark and trying times? Oh, it's Eloise.
Here you are. To think that Jeralt would meet his end like that. I hope you know that you were the most important thing in the world to him.
I was?
He wasn't the most emotional guy. I'm sure expressing his affection wouldn't have come naturally to him. After what's happened, it's up to me now. I, Eloise, swear to protect you in the captain's stead. Sorry. This isn't the time for my blathering. Lady Rhea is looking for you. I came to tell you that. I'll take my leave now.
This book is filled with secrets yet unknown. We must return another time.
Or you could just take it with you and say, oh yeah, this belongs to my dad. I kind of just want to keep it for myself.
I have at least figured one
as you know, memento and all that.
I know now why our fates
it would help with the situation, you know. He's like, oh yeah, belongs to my dad, you know, can I keep it and all that. I'm sure Rhea would be more than understanding of it at this time.
Professor, I have been waiting for you. I am filled with grief at the loss of our most
well, you sure don't sound like it, lady.
Jeralt was an ally of many years, and also a dear friend. It was a long while back. At the time, Jeralt was a soldier of the kingdom. He was injured in battle, and I saved him just as he was about to perish. That was our first meeting. After that, he became a knight of Seros. He gave his all in service of the church. He fell in love with one of the nuns here at Garreg-Mach. Their love produced a child, whom she died giving birth to. It was her decision. She weighed her own life against that of her child's and, in the end, implored me to save
really,
the
huh?
child. Your
If I
father
had to guess, me.
never truly accepted that decision. He took the child, took you, and disappeared without warning. Your mother, she was my...
Sorry
Oh,
for the
great.
interruption, Lady
More
Rhea.
potential
There's something
things
you
that we
must
should
hear
learn about.
immediately. A report
Taken
from
away
the
from
knights
us.
patrolling the area.
Very well. Professor, you are dismissed for the day. Please rest and focus only on mending your heart. Understood?
Part 1. White Clouds. Guardian Moon. Where the goddess dwells. Long ago, the guardian Seros made an appearance during this moon. She had been summoned by the goddess, whose soul was suffering as the flames of war raged across Fodlan. Some believe that high in the sky above Seros, the Immaculate One's mighty wings are what powered the strong winds carrying the Guardian and her forces into battle.
And there we go. We get our daily dose of money for the month, and you already know what it's time for. No. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. Leonie would like to speak with you. Is now a good time? The answer is no, because even though I built up a very good support with Leonie, her B support is so ill-timed that it has killed support for this character and people not liking her. So, all the supports are going to get their own video, but on the second, you see what it is.
You're here again. Professor, you've been crying. So,
Is it that
even
obvious?
you cry sometimes. Oh, I suppose that was thoughtless of me to say.
It's fine. What do you want?
My teacher, you're so blinded by grief that you can't see what's going on right in front of you. Are you waiting for time to heal your wounds? Or have you curled up in a corner and lost the will to carry on?
See, I want everyone make a mental note of this. Make a mental note of this conversation in particular.
It's not like you to speak to me like that. You know I'd never ask you a question without purpose. Only you can truly understand your own sadness. Others can sympathize, or even empathize, but all anyone else can offer are the tears of an outsider looking in. So I have no intention of crying for you, or of standing still with you. All I can do is promise to reach out my hand when the time comes for me to move forward. The mysterious organization that was carrying out experiments in Remire Village and the chapel, they're up to something near Garreg Mach. The Archbishop has sent the Knights to undertake a large-scale investigation. No information has surfaced yet, but our enemies will soon be discovered. When they are, will you lead us into battle? Or will you just sit here, with no thought for the future that is fast approaching? My teacher, there is a choice to be made. I hope you make the right one.
My. She really is quite arrogant. She spoke her mind without an ounce of reservation. But she is right. The time has come to stand again. You know already what your answer is.
Oh, thank
Jeez,
you.
all the
saved
oh
me.
god, all the cutscenes.
If you were to die, then the mystery of our bodies would be revealed. Preventing that was my only aim. I'm afraid you must remain, Kronya. There is something I need you to do.
Oh, of course. I am always happy to cooperate with Solon. Leave it to me.
How annoying.
Flame Emperor, is she offending you? Unfortunately, we cannot take our eyes off her, so there is nothing to be done. You are our greatest creation. We use the defiled beast's blood as the fuel to your flame, that you may burn even the gods. Now is the time to cleanse Fodlan with that power.
I was just looking at something funny. It's not that good.
There will be no salvation for you and your kind.
Take note of this conversation as well. Just take note of all of it.
Gruesome deeds in Dusker and Enmar.
All so that you may acquire the strength.
All for a purpose.
All for a purpose.
All for a purpose, I'm generally sure. To strengthen the Flame Emperor, but this doesn't seem like the Flame Emperor particularly agrees with these fools. It is Ingrid's birthday, and you will give her some flour. Fuck! Ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back.
You're here again.
Okay, here. I'm actually back. Get flowers. There. I don't want to do... I already showed it, and I feel like doing all the TBD. Oh yeah, and for like the rest of the month, if you guys can hear it, beside my freaking dishwasher being... You get this very somber tune, and Byleth is visibly sad for the rest of the month because of it. But anyways, we're actually going to do more exploration as we always do. And so, if this turns out to be a little bit long, I will just probably just go, you know, run around as fast as I always do, talk to every character.
If you must weep, then weep. I shall be here for you. Well, it would be ridiculous to not feel anything after something like that. Go on and let it out. I am here.
See, that's something very good. And something I appreciate in this. And it's why I'm so hesitant to play Three Hopes. Because it changes both Sothis and Byleth's character. Because again, it's not something you're particular. Anyways, an owl feather and all that, because again, it's not something that you're used to. Again, imagine if Robin was a main antagonist, and you had to play this new character who had history with Robin, like say before they became part of the Shepherds and all that. That would be something hard for me to do. Tooth Dagger, someone who likes rare weapons. I can guess who that is. Emblem Bone Dice, who enjoys beer games. I can also probably guess who that is. Hey look, it's Dimitri.
I'm so sorry about what happened to Jeralt. No, of course my sorrow is nothing compared to yours. The Knights are even now searching for our enemy's whereabouts. They are to report back the moment they find something. If you desire revenge, Professor, you can count me in.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Talk to Caspar and Raphael.
I'm not even close to being strong enough.
Aww.
I mean, Jeralt was so much stronger than me, but even he...
You're probably stronger than Captain
enough.
Jeralt, at least in terms of video
I can't
game
dwell on the
stats.
past. There's no way to know what my future holds, but
But
I do know
in terms
one
of
thing.
lore, yeah,
Whatever happens,
lore trumps
I have
video
to make
game,
my own way in this world.
just
I have
so
to
you
keep
know can
pushing
get
so I
it
can grow even stronger.
at least interactive.
You gotta
Raphael,
keep yourself active during tough times, Professor.
how's it going? I
Even
don't
if it
particularly
seems
care,
impossible.
but thank you.
That's how I got through it when I lost my parents. If you need help with anything, just come and see me. Eating and training are my specialties.
Well, we'll see about that. Anyways, the bow versus bow tournament. We use training bow and we get an advanced seal for doing it. But for right now, I'll probably just do that off screen, like the same way I did the other trainings off screen. Oh, yes, of course, all the slowdown right here. Umbral Steel. Just trying to talk to Bernadetta. Oh, a Master Steel. I will definitely buy that. And that will just go in that, so when I hit level 30, eventually, it will be much easier. Balthus. Viscum! Okay, I believe I explained this once, but Viscum is basically a hacked item in Fire Emblem Three Houses, where if you buy it, it only costs 1 gold. It's basically a turret in one map that was never properly implemented, but it basically has the same range and power, so it's basically a magic weapon that can hit from very far away. And it's also very overpowered, so if you want to train units on maddening, I suggest probably use that weapon, because, well, maddening cheats, so I cheat back. Talk to the student, please.
When I heard that Monica was with the enemy, I was surprised by how unsurprised I was. Something was just off about her. It's hard to explain. That said, whenever she had free time, she was always hanging around with the Edelgard. I wonder if Edelgard is also... Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just being paranoid. Please ignore me.
Huh. Yeah, if you think about it, Monica, in at least this version, is very obviously weird because she's always around Edelgard and Hubert. You always want to talk to them, so you could probably think about, like, oh, hey, maybe Monica was planning to assassinate them or something.
Dark expressions don't suit you, Professor. But well, I'm glad to see you out in the world again. It seems this month will be a quiet one around here. There aren't many knights around to liven things up.
Most of the knights are gone, seeking out the enemy.
Isn't that a bit much? I agree it's important, but is it a good idea to neglect the safety of the monastery?
What do you think, Professor?
What do I think? It would be a shame if we were invaded. I mean, this causes more problems for me than anything else.
It makes the church seem reckless.
And yeah, there we go. Talk to the pair. Unfinished score. Someone who likes to sing. Probably Mercedes or Annette. Actually, I'm thinking Annette.
Professor? Do you think we'll
Probably
still be
not.
able to graduate?
With all the random crap that's been going on
Dangerous
this
things
year,
keep
I would
happening
doubt
around
it.
here?
But hey, you never know.
I'm worried.
Are you
I
guys
hope
here
that
for
all
like
the
2 years or are
students
you
and
for 1
professors
year?
will be
So,
there to
give
celebrate
me
the
this
graduation
type of
ceremony.
course. Be cheaper than college, I believe. Actually, you know what? Never mind. They pay each other in gold. Pretty sure no matter how much money I make, I'm pretty sure it's always going to be less than whatever gold we
There
have.
is no one here who has not heard tales of Jeralt's valor. We have suffered a most dear loss. I do not know what the enemy's aim was, but I do know this. After what they have done, we cannot suffer them to live. If there is anything I can do to ensure that justice is brought swiftly, you need only give the word.
Huh. Fair. Oh yeah, Marianne and Hilda.
Professor, it seems like you're holding up okay.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely
worried about
holding up
Leonie.
okay. It's just that
She
my dad
really
died.
loved
You know how it
Geralt.
is. Everyone's
I
dad
hope she
dies
can bounce
eventually.
back.
Just that mine was taken cruelly right in front of my eyes.
I'll say a prayer for Gerald's soul. There's not much else I can do.
That is incredibly kind of you. Letter of the Goddess, your daydreams about the goddess. And let's make this bigger. Here we have Claude over here, talking and scheming as
I
always.
haven't lost a parent yet, so I can't even begin to understand how you must be feeling. But even while you're standing still, the world keeps on moving. I always find that oddly comforting.
Well, I appreciate your attempt, Claude. The attempt is appreciated.
Professor, I
I'm sure you will pull through this because you're so strong, Professor.
Thank you.
Best to stay calm during such tumultuous and upsetting times.
That is something I will probably not be able to do in real life.
If we underestimate them, anything could happen. Yes,
being
I
careful
agree.
is the right option, obviously.
Don't want to lose you too, Professor.
Aw, I appreciate it, but like even like it's not something where it's like, oh, I've lost someone because of something violent. I've lost someone because of like obviously like old age and all that. But it's not just something you get over extremely quickly.
In real life,
even if you appear extremely calm.
I don't know what to say.
When it happens.
I do know this much. Sir Jeralt must have been very proud to have you as his child.
But like, just kind of like going, like, it's just something you don't get over. And even someone who is emotionally stunted as Byleth, as shown throughout the story, still understands like, dang, this is really messed up. I'm upset. But that's probably because of his time at the academy as a teacher.
I brought some flowers for Jeralt. It's the least I can do. Sometimes I feel like all I do is run away. Anyway, I'll go lay them out.
Thank you. Like, this is something that you generally very much appreciate for characters like something this big happening in the story. They do take a lot of time with it. Where, I hate to say it, well, they take a lot of time with it in-game, because a month of grieving, I feel like, is a respectable amount of time.
There is a group of people who want to kill us, after all.
But let's, like, go with something like, let's go with Awakening, for example. We don't really have a time frame of, like, say, when Emmerman's death happens and then Crom and them escape and go back to fight,
there were crest-related objects
I forget his name, the Mad King of Plagia, or Plagia, or whatever the heck they want to call it.
Of course, I'll put them back when I'm done.
Gangrel, there we go.
Assuming they bear no additional use.
They don't give it in some time, but Crom is grieving, and then he just lets it all out when fighting Mustafa and them. Who, if you want to picture of Mustafa, go play Heroes. He basically kind of like looks like Kratos, except more tanned. But that would be an example of something like Crom like letting out all his frustrations in the very moment and not being able to properly deal with it until later, and he's forced to move on.
Why did he have to go and die?
And I appreciate it, but it's also again not a very appropriate time frame, I suppose.
Do you have time for a
practice quest? Sure, why not? And then we'll probably, I'm not even gonna have the training if we don't get any like quest this month versus like say actual quests. I'll just jump to the end of the month. The rain finally stopped. Oh, okay, I thought you were actually gonna talk. But alright, who's right here? Oh, Anna. I forgot, I haven't done a playthrough with Anna before.
My deepest condolences. I knew him long before I ever even met you. He was always so much fun to be around. It's such a loss.
Huh. Jeralt being fun to be around. I couldn't really imagine Jeralt being like the most outgoing and loud person. But he'd probably even be a chill person to be around. Soldier?
Night, I had the honor of sharing a drink with Jeralt. It was pretty tactless, honestly.
But again, like, going back to what I was saying before, like, we don't really get a time frame of how short of a time it is. Even with something like, say, Makoto's death in Fire Emblem Fates, it's an incredibly short amount of time. But your character's not given a proper amount to grieve on it, because again, we don't know. But then again, you can say they take months or years. Because, the deep realms and all that, and how time is different in there, that area.
I was so worried.
And like your realm with my castle and all that.
He must be starving. Mercy and I made some sweets for you. We were thinking that if you were to eat something sweet, it might help you feel better.
Baking sweets is my specialty. I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Huh. It's like, oh, here, have some food. Mustard. Like, again, I appreciate that we essentially have a month of a character just going and saying,
Professor,
we're sorry for your loss.
Ferdinand is
if it turned from more than a month to, like, say 2 or 3 months, it would definitely be it would feel too
All I
long,
said was
in a
that if you
sense.
want to go back to Bridget, you probably
If
can.
it was,
You are
but Byleth was
the
like, say,
Empire's
younger.
guest, so to speak.
Like,
They
Byleth
cannot
was
afford for something bad to
12,
happen to you.
13,
There would be a
and it took a
diplomatic
few
incident.
months or maybe even a year
Someone
to
close
grieve.
to us has turned up dead.
That would have been fine.
So one could argue
I
that
would
you
have
are
said
not
that was
safe
fine,
here
but if it was
anymore.
like in-game,
You
no.
were already told. I am learning here, from the Academy. What are you thinking, Professor?
You do not have to leave if you do not wish
I
it.
am not returning to home until I have grabbed my goal. I will not be
They're
listening
like,
to
you
the
know
words
what?
of
Yeah, maybe
Ferdinand.
you guys should leave.
No, look, I did
But
not mean to pressure
honestly,
you.
if this was like a normal school,
Apologies for
normal
the
academy, they're like,
misunderstanding.
yeah, no. An incident every month where something bad goes wrong, teachers are injured, reports, yada yada yada. Yeah, no, duh. They would like, you know what? Nah, we're not doing this anymore.
You're finally returning to your old
You're
self.
like, get out of here.
See the
We're
light in
just
your
gonna
eyes
send
again
everyone
as a
home
gift.
because they did the same
It
thing for when a
inspires me
certain
to
thing
carry on as
happened
well.
that shut down the
As you
world for a
know,
couple
the
of
Knights are
years.
searching furiously for any trace
But
of the enemies
granted,
who escaped.
that
I'll
was
inform
something
you
entirely
immediately
different.
if I learn
Imagine if this was
anything
happening, and it's always happening at your school. It's like one of the faculty, someone's dressed as a dead student. Like, Jesus Christ. I'll be in blend. I already... Where is she? I'm pretty sure she was over here. She's either over here. I still have more areas to go to. But it's kind of like... It's actually kind of good that we're kind of like, for lack of a better term, kind of like rushing past. There she is!
Captain Jeralt's gone. He's gone. And we'd only just reunited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is even harder on you. But I just can't... I can't believe...
Yeah, and this is entirely disconnected from how she appears in your gosh dang B support. I like Leonie as a character, but this, her B support, you'll see when I do it, the next, like, you know, supported Byleth and all that. It will be very annoying, in my opinion, because, again, the characters act in a different way, completely detached from it, because you can act this it anywhere. But you'll see. Do some gardening real quick because yeah. Oh, magic herbs. And anything, carrots because speed. Alright, hold up. And talk to the Dew. No, I don't want to do any gardening. I want to talk to the Dew.
What happened to Jeralt? I am sorry. There are no words. Leave some flowers on his grave for me.
Huh, thank you. Southern Fodland Seeds. And yeah, that pretty much, like, basically everyone's already out of battle. We pretty much talked to a majority of the characters. Here's Ingrid.
I'm so sorry. I never quite know what to say at times like these. Just don't push yourself too hard too soon. It's okay to allow yourself to be sad right now. Losing someone dear to you. Well, each loss is unique, but it's a feeling I know very well. That said, Professor,
Huh. You would think, given her backstory, Ingrid would probably know what to say, but you never know. The Gatekeeper,
no.
how are you
Professor.
doing?
Thank you for all you have done for us. Nothing to report today.
Gatekeeper, your words, or lack thereof, say more than anything you could possibly say. Alright, so we still have to go to the chapel, we can talk to Ignatz, and we still have the other four. So let's just fast travel. I'm not going to run all the way across the monastery. Okay, it actually loaded up fairly quickly. I'm actually surprised at how fast this thing freaking loaded up. Ash, how you
Not
doing, my
just to
boy?
us, but Monica too. We can't be sure who to trust anymore, can we? Who are these people really? What do they want?
I don't know. Probably some people are thinking of revenge. Probably me. And if this was a certain web series, it'd probably introduce Friday to the business end of someone's shotgun.
Professor.
Hello, Professor.
Oh, Goddess,
Zero.
hear my prayer.
Please receive this beloved person. When the cold rain washes the body, when the bird and wolf announce the dawn, receive them into your blue blood. Receive them into a twinkling star. That's a morning scripture from the Church of Saros. Lady Rhea taught it to me.
Huh.
I pray that Jeralt is happy in the next world.
Cyril, I don't like your character, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm like the millionth person who says, oh yeah, I don't like Cyril. The same thing pretty much applies to Catherine. Though people are much more tolerant of Catherine because she's a tall, blonde, Amazon-like lady than Cyril is, because obviously Cyril, and they find it much more.
I feel that I don't understand the
But
world. How could
I appreciate
like
the sentiment,
to Jeralt?
nonetheless.
He was so strong.
Even though you're scared, you gotta push through.
Professor.
Push through when the times
I'll
are
do
tough.
my best.
And we'll have one last floor. Just exploring this area, and then we'll save Captain Jeralt's room for last. Obviously. Talk to Rhea and Sedith, as always.
Professor, how are you holding up? I know how heavily.
Oh, I don't know. My dad done, I saw him die horribly in front of me. Even though when I reversed time, it did nothing.
Some time ago. It was... Forgive me my moment of weakness. Even all these years later, I cannot recall that time without feeling the pain, as if it were brand new. Just know that I am praying for your mind and your heart to find peace.
Well, again, like, you always appreciate the character's sentiment of like, alright, yeah, I understand. Or, well, I don't understand everything,
Monica. I do have a theory.
What you're going through must
I
be
admit
tough.
It is nothing more than speculation. Both
Ooh, what is your
Tomas
theory?
and
What is your
Monica
speculation?
have each
Tell me
gone
so I can
missing
seek
at
revenge.
one time or another. It was reported that when Monica returned from her disappearance, she
Ah,
began to act
of
like
course.
a completely different person. As if, perhaps, the real Monica had been killed and replaced by an imposter. Thinking of it like that, it is possible that this Solon had been impersonating Tomas for some time. How they managed such a convincing change of appearance, though, I still do not understand.
Just like, oh yeah, again, Skinwalker, essentially, that type of idea. Like, oh yeah, here's a Skinwalker you gotta deal with. In this case, though, there's someone completely knowledgeable,
someone very
but
dear to you.
they look like him, but they don't act like him. I believe in terms of Skinwalkers, they always look like, they look and act like the person so they can get the drop on you. But
at least we can
I could be
lighten the
wrong.
load for you. I've always seen strength in your eyes. I know
Oh,
you'll recover.
thank you, Hanneman.
You're a very strong person.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, we're down to 4, I believe. Do. Flayn and
You have
Hubert.
lost your father. Now more than ever, do I understand how very lucky I am that you were able to save me. Professor, I deeply appreciate what you have done. Thank you. If there is anything at all I can do in return, please tell me, okay?
Yeah, this is like, again, I will always take it to where characters appreciate. Like, if say if older Fire Emblem games, if they ever remake them, like say, I don't know, they just re-release Fire Emblem Awakening on the Switch or whatever.
Thus, the
And
monastery
you buy it and have all the DLC right away. Just saying it, do it.
Perhaps that was the
Let's just say, for
enemy's real
example,
objective. We should be prepared for further
like you couldn't
confrontation.
get like S supports before a certain time. Like, just I wanted to do something like this. Let's lock supports out until after a time, but make them like appropriate and all that. Like, say for example, Crom can't raise their support with anyone before, during, or after Gangrel until Gangrel's defeated after Everman dies, and like you're quote unquote locking in to defeating Gangrel, which I think I appreciate a heck of a lot more than some of the other things where it's like, oh hey, my sister just died. I'm in a really emotionally depressive state. Oh hey, Samia, you want to get hitched?
Something to do with her disappearance last year.
Or hates
Sadly,
me, I want to talk
that is
about
the extent of
pies.
my knowledge.
The
I wonder
dumb
who kidnapped
support
her.
in English
Why?
at the very least.
First
And like,
Tomas,
again,
now
just like
Monica.
do that for all time. Like, say for
I am
example,
so sorry.
or say if
The
they do
failing was
something
clearly
like,
our own.
if they
We
re-release
didn't
again
notice the
some older
enemy's
games,
invasion,
just
and now
just do it, like they do with
I apologize.
I want to say with
There's
Echoes
nothing
as
I
well.
can say to
Like you
atone
couldn't
for our
get
sins.
support until certain points in the story.
Please do not let your guard down, even among
Like
the
yeah,
people of the
do Echoes,
monastery.
do Engage.
There is no way to know where
No,
another
Engage
enemy
in
may be
lockdown
hiding.
supports for something like that. Like they didn't lock down your character supports, so you could get them at any time you wanted. Versus say, but then again, Engage is a very lighthearted story, all things considered. Hey, oh hey Manuela.
I have something rather uncomfortable to discuss. It's about the weapon that killed Jeralt. Will you listen?
Yeah, I don't particularly want to. I wouldn't want to listen in real life, but given this,
It was a
I'll
dagger,
listen.
but I know enough to know it wasn't an ordinary dagger. It wasn't made of iron or steel because, well, because whatever it was, the wound it left wasn't normal. Who could make a blade like that, do you figure?
What was that weapon? Who knows?
I wonder who they were.
That's always a good question. Who were they? I don't know. Maybe they're pale-skinned mother effers like that one guy who saved her. You will perish! Oh, hey Celtis, you're in here.
Oh, is something hiding just behind that book?
Oh, hey, smaller bag. Inside it,
That
a ring.
ring. I have seen it before. Ah, I know. Jeralt showed that ring to you beside a grave. Do you recall? He said he wished for you to have that ring one day. That means it's yours. He also said that you should gift that ring to someone special.
And then bam! Hey, there's your character's marriage ring and all that. It's like playing on Photon's fish. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that essentially covers our exploration for this month. So right now I'm going to save, and then like the next time we show up, basically I'm gonna like check quote unquote ahead of schedule and see like, oh, if we have any questions coming up. But with that, everyone, my name is Mega Zero, and I will catch you all later.